Hello there and welcome to ADcraft. Today I'm going to show you part 1 of how to build this awesome steampunk base in your world. This base was originally designed and used in my 80s Adventure Survival series, and this video will show you the exterior build with part 2 showing a full interior. A world download for this build and full materials list is also available to all tiers of my patrons. First of all, let's take a look at the materials that you'll need, so pause the video now. Please note you'll also need a number of temporary blocks for this build. The space you'll need for the build is 18 wide by 31 blocks long, and this is by 24 blocks tall. Building in this space will leave you a 1 block gap all the way around the build. Now we're going to start from the front of the build and we're going to put the initial blocks in that will allow us to build the rest of the structure. So coming to the front and at the right hand corner, including this corner block, so all of the numbers that I give will be including the edge block, we will come in 1, 2, 3, 4. And on this 4th block, including this, we'll count to the 12th block. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And place a temporary block here on this side. And then on the other side, we'll do a very similar thing. This build itself isn't symmetrical, so there is more space needed on this side. This one, we're only going to come in 3. So 1, 2, 3, and then in 12 again to the same level, place our temporary block. Then we're going to add some deep slate tiles. We're going to have 3 deep slate tiles the top side. So you've got this gap underneath and we can get rid of the temporary block. We do that on both of these edges, like so. Then for the middle, again, coming to the front, we're going to count across 10 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And on the 10th block, we're then going to count in 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Place this temporary block, and this time we're going to place 10 top cobbled deep slate slabs coming all the way back in between, like so. And if you place these in the right place, there will be 5 blocks of gap in between each of these 2 edges and the middle. Next, we're going to deal with the 2 side fins, and I'll show you on this side, and they are the same on both sides though, so just replicate what I've done here but on both of the sides. We're coming to the back of these 3 blocks and we're going to place 4 diorite walls up like this, and at the top at the back, sticking backwards, we're going to have 2 more, and then 1 at the front like this. Then we're going to have 1, 2, 3 cobblestone walls here and 2 more in front like so. Then we're going to get some of the cobbled deep slate walls and place 2 here, and then in the middle 2 more like this. Now we're going to take ourselves some deep slate tile stairs and place an upside down stair here and 1 here, and then a right way up stair just on top like this. Next we are going to place a stair going this way and a stair going this way, so there 2 back-to-back stairs and a slab on top like this. Now we're going to place ourselves a polished andesite here, a polished andesite here. Against this polished andesite, we will place an upside down polished andesite stair with another one on top, then a stair pointing in like this with a final polished andesite in the middle. So this will give you your completed fin, and as I say, replicate that on the other side as well. With the fins in place on both of those sides, then we're going to start on this middle section. And first of all, we are going to add ourselves another cobbled deep slate, but a full block on top of these slabs, and then 1 more at the front with a slab again on the top like this, so it'll curve down. Then at the back side, we're going to place an upside down stair with a slab on the top just like that. Then coming to the front here, we're going to use some upside down stairs, so there's going to be 3 of those, and then 1, 2, 3 of those here. And using some of the stripped warped hyphae, we're going to place 2. And next we're going to place acacia planks. There's going to be 2 out there with a stair on the side and 2 out there with an upside down stair on that side as well. So you'll have something that looks just like this. Now just behind this, we're going to start placing some copper. All of these blocks are waxed, so I'm just going to give them their regular names, but just do know they're waxed. So we've got the oxidized copper on either side, just next to the stairs in the middle block. Then we've got the weathered copper. We've got 3 blocks on each side in an L shape coming out from the middle. And finally, we've got 4 blocks of exposed copper on the back, just like this, and 1 block of polished granite just behind that. So you've got a finished result like so. Now we're going to add some floor to this. So we're going to add at the back 2 cobbled deep slate with an upside down stair and a slab like so. Then on the 2 sides where we've got these stairs upside down, we're going to place a plank for the acacia and an upside down stair going out front on those, going out towards the sides rather. Then using some dark oak planks, we're going to fill in all of this space here. Once that's done, we're going to place 2 of the stripped warped hyphae on each of the sides sticking out. Then we've got 1 cobbled deep slate next to that, just like so. And then a line of stairs going all the way round. So this will be curving round and coming out round the front just like this until we get to the other side. Now with some more copper, I'm going to show you on this side what to do. It's an exact mirror on the other side, so just do the same on the other side. We're going to place 1 oxidized, 3 weathered, and then coming around the corner 2 exposed. Then 3 polished granite coming out this way, and a regular block of copper with a top slab next to that. And then coming out towards the back of the base, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the stripped oak wood, and then some temporary blocks so that we can make that 3 wide all the way across like so. And we can get rid of those 2 temporary blocks. Now using some upside down spruce stairs, we're going to skip the front block and go there, and skip the black block and go there, and do the same on the other side. Then underneath, we're going to take some of the trapdoors, and these are spruce trapdoors again, come across like this to connect up the 2. And as I say, do exactly that on the other side. And once you've done, it will look like this. Now we're going to deal with the boilers, so starting on the left hand side, but you do the right hand side as well after this, looking from the back to the front. I'm going to use some temporary blocks just so the wood goes in the right direction. And we're going to start with a temporary block there, just at the front, in front of this wood, and a line of blocks there. And then we're going to come up 3 blocks like so. So we've got a total of 3 blocks, so 2 more blocks. Then on the inside here, we're going to add 5 temporary blocks, so 3 along and then 2 up on this side out towards the fin. And we're going to place some wood along that before we get rid of those. We're going to place a 3x3 at the back here. So we're going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then place the wood on the back. So we've got a 3x3 of the wood before we get rid of these temporary blocks as well. And then on the sides, we're going to place 3 temporary blocks up like this. Then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we've got all the same wood grain. Then a barrel at the bottom and at the top. Shift clicking on top of this barrel to place a smoker. And then shift clicking again to place 3 more temporary blocks. 3 more wood blocks rather, to complete the design and the pattern on the side before getting rid of these temporary blocks themselves. With both of these done, it'll look like this. Now we've got 1 more stage to do on this, so 3 more temporary blocks at the back like this. We are going to have another line of the wood coming along so it touches on here, and then we're going to go 3 here and 1 here and get rid of those temporary blocks. And then we're going to use some of the spruce stairs parallel to the spruce stairs that we've got down here, and then some trapdoors coming up the sides to link these together on both the sides like so, and then a trapdoor on top here, and then 2 trapdoors on top just like this. And then as before, do that on the other side as well. And when you have, it will look like this. Now we're going to build up the section between these 2 tanks. The first thing though that we're going to do is take out actually these 2 corner blocks here and here just like this, so we can actually use the interiors of those tanks. Now using some of the cobbled deep slate, we're going to place 2 blocks here with an upside down stair and a top slab. Then on the last 2 blocks, we're going to place 2 more cobbled deep slate, and then do the same again with an upside down stair and a slab. Then we've got 2 more cobbled deep slate, and this time we're going to have a line of 3 cobbled deep slate just here like so. Now with some of the regular blocks of copper, we're going to place 2 on either side and get an acacia trapdoor and place that next to that. And here we're going to place a acacia plank on top just like so. Now we've got some of the spruce trapdoors, so we're going to place 2 spruce trapdoors like this, and then the same on the other side at the bottom here, and then 1 on top. You can do that by shift clicking on top of it. And we are going to have then some of the acacia wood here and here, and some of the acacia wood here and here to fill in the gap. And then we've got some polished granite filling in these 2 holes. Now carrying on the build at the front here, we're going to start with acacia planks on these 2 stairs with another upside down stair outside both of these. Going this way, we're going to have 1, 2, 3 of the oxidized copper blocks, then 1 of the weathered copper blocks on each side, and then finally 1 of the exposed blocks to bring this in line here. Then we're going to have a warped block here, and then we're going to have another one just as a temporary block. And with that, what we're going to be able to use is some of the deep slate and bring the deep slate in just like that and get rid of that temporary block. Now, just in front of this, we're going to bring our calcite round, and we're just going to follow this line right the way round. So each of these blocks up to this one have got a calcite on there. And then we're going to have an upside down brick stair this way and a right way up brick stair going that way. So an upside down stair pointing out and then a right way up stair pointing forward. Finally, on this level, we're going to take some of the stone brick slabs and place bottom slabs around the calcite, but not filling in all of the corners, just leaving it so it's just touching up against the calcite here like so. Now, starting on the mouth, we're going to have a couple of warp blocks here with some of the cobbled deep slate right next to those, and then we're going to have an outward facing upside down stair on both of these sides. Just inside that, we're going to place a couple of the calcite blocks just like so. Next, we're going to place the teeth, and we're going to have a tooth here and then a double tooth here and a double tooth here, the same on the other side, and that is with the dripstone. Then we're going to have a double tooth here and here with a small in the middle. Next, we've got some of the glass, and the glass is going to go along here, 2 blocks there, 2 blocks there, a block here and a block here, and then on this level all the way around like so. For the next stage, we're going to start with some stone bricks on either one of these, and then we're going to have a slab on top, and that's a top slab. Then we have got 2 of the calcite just there. Next to this, we have ourselves a deep slate stair on this side with a deep slate block and a warped hyphae next to it, and do the same here. So we start there, deep slate stairs upside down facing out, deep slate block and cobbled, and then some hyphae. Next, we're going on to the glass. So over this, we're going to place some glass over that tooth there, then a double glass on these 2, and a glass coming forward like this. Take that one out, that was just a temporary block. Underneath here, we are going to place ourselves a nice little tooth coming down like so. For the next step, we've got some blocks of copper that go on the 2 sides, and these have an upside down stair right next to them sticking out like so. And then in front of those, we're going to have 2 of the cobbled deep slate blocks just like this. Next, we're going to place ourselves some calcite. So there's 2 calcite coming out here and here again. And in this space that we've created, we're going to have an upside down stair that blocks out that gap. Now to turn to the glass. The glass is going to be 2 glass blocks here, 2 here, and then on top of this one and either side of that to create 3 along there. And lastly, we've got a double tooth that we're going to have coming down on these 2 sides. Now we're going to finish off the mouth, and we're going to start this with the calcite. So we're going to take the calcite here, and then we're going to create ourselves a wiggly line of the calcite like this. So it's going to be 2, 2, 3, and then going to be 2 coming back and 2 like so. Next, we're going to use some of the cobbled deep slate, and we're going to place 3 of those blocks on this side and 3 of those blocks on this side with a block of copper in the middle of that gap and a right way up copper stairs. Again, all waxed copper blocks here and here. Now for some of the stone bricks, we're going to have a stone brick, stone brick here just on that against the calcite, and a stone brick stair upside down there. And next we're going to run the stone brick slabs in like this, similar to what we've got beneath. And finally, we're going to add in the last of the teeth, and these are all going to be double teeth, so 2 sets of the dripstone all the way around. So there should be 5 extra teeth that we've got in there with a real nice smile, should we say. And lastly, a cyan block just in that gap. Now we're going to complete the area between the mouth and these tanks, and we're going to start with some acacia planks. 1 block here, skip a block, and then 2 blocks like this. 1 block, skip a block, and then 2 blocks like this. And in that space, we're going to place a redstone lamp on both sides, and then 1 on these just before the wood as well. We're going to power those at the back like so. and then on the side like so for these blocks themselves. Now above that we're going to place ourselves 2 oxidized copper on both those sides. Then we're going to use some warped hyphae and go 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3 1 2, and then back to the copper. So we're going to go 1 2 3 and then 1 and 1 2 like this. So you've got a wiggly line that goes round, and then 1 2 3 1 2 1, and just fill that in like so. Next we've got some of the weathered copper, and we're going to go all the way up to the top and across, and then 2 more blocks like this, and the same on the other side. So 1 2 3 4, and then 1 there, and then 2, if I can place them in the right places, next to it like this. And then we're going to have 1 and then 2 like this, 1 and then 2 like this, and finish off right next to this trapdoor with a nice granite block, just like so. The final touch outside is in here. We're going to place ourselves a lightning rod, and we're also going to place a lightning rod across there, and we'll do the same on the other side as well. So a lightning rod facing out and a lightning rod facing backwards, just in front of the redstone lamps. Next, at the back of the ship, we're going to place 2 waxed blocks of copper here and here. We're then going to place 5 of the cobbled deep slate before placing 2 stepped outwards like this, and 2 on top of that, and another 2, and then 2 more on this side, and then bringing that up so it's 3 high before connecting across the top with 5, and then 3 on top. Next we're going to start with the engine, and we're going to start at the bottom, and we're going to place ourselves an andesite block there with an upside down stair there and there. Then we're going to place another upside down stair next to that like so, with another andesite block there. Then we've got a right way up stair on top of that, and as you could probably guess, we're just bringing this round like this and connecting up with an andesite block in the middle. In front of that we're going 3 andesite blocks on each of the sides, and then in the top we're only placing 2 like this. Now we're going to put some of the magma blocks. Now you can put these in any pattern. I'm just going to randomly stick these around. Let's get rid of those, and we're going to mix in some of these, the shroom lights, just so you've got a pattern a bit like that. On top of this we're going to place ourselves a campfire, and then on top of this we're going to place a slab, and at the bottom here we're going to place another slab like so. Then we come in with some more of the magma blocks, so we just randomly place these around, a couple of blocks here and there, and then we just choose where we want to place our shroom lights to fill in. I might put another shroom light there, for example, and then 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there, just to give us this pattern. Now using some stairs, we're going to fill in the corners like so, and once we've done that, we're going to fill in the next block with an upside down stair and a right way up stair here, a right way up stair. So as you can see, we're curving this round all the way around with these andesite stairs, just like this, and the final one down at the bottom with just some regular andesite blocks to fill in those gaps like so. And to finish off the motors themselves, the engine itself, we're just going to come around with some polished andesite and just fill in like this, so it's all connected up, and there you have your finished engine. To connect the 2 boilers up to the engine, we're going to come out with 2 polished basalt blocks. Then we're going to go 1 2 3 4, and then connect across with 1, and each of these corners we are going to cover with the oak trapdoors, just like so, just to give them a kind of bronzed finish. And we're going to repeat that on the other side here. So we're going to come out 2, then 1 2 3 4, and then place the block there, and then just as before, surround it with the oak trapdoors like this. Back at the front, we're going to place 2 more acacia planks on top of the acacia, and then we've got 4 of the oxidized copper next to that, then 2 blocks of copper on each side with a cobbled deep slate just in front of that like so. On top of that, we've got a stripped warped hyphae on each side, then a cobbled deep slate on each side, and a block of copper on each side. Now on the outside of this cobbled deep slate, we're going to place an upside down copper stair. And now moving to the front, we are going to be stepping around from this stone block, just going back and forth and all the way around, but not going over any of the calcite until we reach this end here. Then with an upside down stair at the front, we're going to have 1, and then 1 curving in each way. Next, we've got some more copper, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3 on each side, 1, 2, and then 3. And then we're just going to fill in this section on top with some more of the cobbled deep slate. At the back, we're going to start with a temporary block on each side. Then on the outside of that, we're going to have 2 acacia blocks with a block of copper on top, and the same on the other side, 2 acacia blocks. This is the stripped acacia and a block of copper. We're then going to fill in a line of copper blocks like so. So we've got almost like an S shape with 2 more polished granite in there in that gap. Now on the front here, we've got a redstone lamp that we're going to place, and we're going to power that from underneath on both sides. On top of that, we're going to have some acacia planks. We can get rid of the temporary block on both of the sides as well. And then just in front of that, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 copper. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 copper with 1 more stripped acacia wood in that hole, just like so. To fill in the gap, we're going to place 1 of the oxidized copper, followed by 1, 2, 3, and then 2 on top of the weathered copper, 2 of the exposed copper, and a granite there. Then in the middle of this space, we're going to place 3 of the stone tiles, deep slate tiles, and an upside down stair on each side, like so. And then on this, we're going to place ourselves some of the trapdoors, the acacia trapdoors. I'm going to place an acacia trapdoor here as well. And then we're going to replicate that on the other side as well. So it's 1, and then 1, 2, 3 with 2 on top, 2 of these, and a granite, the polished deep slate tiles, upside down stair on both sides, the acacia trapdoor, and the acacia trapdoor around this, like so. And the next thing that we're going to do is, using some of the dark oak planks, fill in the entire of the interior of this with a line of this, because this is going to make the second floor of the build. So just fill this right the way in. Now to build the 2 portholes, and I will show you on one side. It is just a mirror image on the other side. We're going to come out 3 of the deep slate tiles with a tile stair pointing in and connected up across the middle, like so. We're then also going to have an extra tile here and 3 more here with another stair, and that is at the back on both the sides. We're then going to have a waxed exposed copper there. Then we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 glass in each of the corners, and this is cyan, but you can use any color. On front, you place a stained glass pane of the same color, and then you connect up those panes just like so, with 1 final block in the middle to create this domed porthole. And you repeat that exactly the same, but mirrored on the other side. And when it's complete, it will look like this. If you're enjoying this build, make sure you leave a comment, hit that like button, and subscribe so you don't miss out on the next part of this series. At the back now, we are going to place a polished granite on each of these sides, and then we're going to place 2 copper blocks like this diagonally, and then 2 more here and 2 more here. In this gap that we've opened up, we will place an acacia plank and some stairs facing in, and the same on the other side, acacia planks and some stairs with a redstone lamp on each side, like so. Then in the middle, we're going to go 1, 2 with the cobbled deep slate, and then we're going to go 1, 2 and 1, 2 with the copper blocks. At this point, things change a little bit, so we're going to go 1, 2 on both of these sides like this. On this side, we're going to add an extra block here, and on this side, we're going to add an extra block here. We're going to have a polished granite on both of these, and then the last thing that we're going to do is get some blast furnaces like this. So we're going to place 3 blast furnaces facing in, and then we're just going to power our redstone lamps, but as you can see, this is no longer symmetrical. Starting the next layer, we're going to place a cobbled deep slate slab here with a stair facing this way and another one facing this way with a full block touching that. Then we're going to have a granite here and here, and then we've got some blast furnaces, one here, one facing this way against the tiles, and one on top of this. We're going to connect some of those up with some andesite walls like so. And then we are going to place ourselves some of the granite stairs on this side and then 2 more on this side. We are going to place ourselves an acacia plank here and an acacia plank against this one, and then use some stairs, 1 on the outside facing in like so, and then 2 more upside down stairs like this coming up to the deep slate. In this gap we're going to add ourselves a lamp, and we are going to then also power that just behind that on that granite. Next we're going to place some blast furnaces, so there's going to be a line of 5 blast furnaces facing outwards like this, well facing inwards, and then 2 facing inwards like this, with 2 more here and then 2 more here. I'm shift clicking with these so they don't open the UI. We're then going to fill in stone in the middle like so and get ourselves 2 of the cobbled deep slate. Then next to that we're going to have a exposed copper block followed by a weathered copper block, 1 more blast furnace on top of this facing this way with a wall just going in between like this. We've then got 3 deep slate tiles on this side and 1 on this side, and lastly we're going to place ourselves 2 of the acacia trapdoors. Now for the next section of the walls, and we're going to start with a redstone lamp and we're going to power that, and that's going to be the same on both sides. And on top of that we're going to place ourselves 2 of the acacia planks and then an acacia stairs facing inwards. Next to this block we're going to place ourselves 1 waxed exposed copper, and then 1, 2, 3 layers and an extra 1 of the weathered copper here. So 1, 2, 3 layers, and an extra 1 is going to be touching this block just like so. Then we've got 2 oxidized copper on each side. On top of that we've got a block of copper and a cut copper slab, so a block of copper, cut copper slab, and then just on the inside we've got another oxidized copper. For the next section we are going for 1 oxidized, then a stripped hyphae, a regular block of copper, a cut block of copper there, and 1 here on the corner. So we'll do that on the other side again. 1 of these, the regular, the cut, and the cut block of copper here. Then we're going to have 1 more block of copper and 2 more cut blocks of copper, and the same on the other side, just like so. Now on top of this we're going to have a stair here, 1 stair facing in on both of these sides like this, and 1 on top of each of these upside down stairs. Now to use some of these slabs we're going to go 1, 2 slabs and a slab underneath, and then the same on the other side, 1, 2 and a slab underneath. Coming inside here we're then going to get some of the warped hyphae and go like this on both the sides, and then in front of that we are going to get 2 more of the blocks of cut copper. Let's just turn this one so it's going the right way around. All done. Now for the nose we're going to start off with a copper block next to each of these stairs, and then diagonally across, missing 1 block, we've got 1 more copper block like this. Now for some stairs we're going to have a stair on top of that one and next to that one, so on top here and next to this one. Then we've got some cobbled deep slate, 2 blocks here, then 1 coming up here. Then we're going to step out 2 and 2 like this before we finally move to the waxed cut copper, and we're going to have 2 blocks here, 1 on top of this block, 2 blocks here, 1 on top of this block, and finally on each side 2 more just on the backwards cobbled deep slate. We're now going to put the windows in for the eyes, and this will need some temporary blocks. So there's going to be a temporary block here and here, and then there's going to be 1 here and 1 here, and we'll start by placing a glass next to each of those, then 2 glass on this one and 1 glass here like this. We've got 2 more glass here, and then we're going to place a shroom light and a glass on top before we get rid of those temporary blocks. I did use tinted glass on the original, but I've decided to use grey because it's a little bit easier to see out of on this one. So let's do that again. We've got the 2 temporary blocks, we've got 1 block here and 1 block here. We put the blocks on the side of these, we put 2 on this side, 1 on here, 2 up against this wall, and then we finish off with a shroom light and another block on top before getting rid of the temporary ones. Next we'll put 2 cobbled deep slate coming back into the build again, and a cut copper here, and then a temporary block and a cut copper just on top like this. Then moving our attention to this side, we're going to place an acacia trapdoor and 1 on this side as well, and flap that up and flap this up as well, and shift click a redstone lamp against those. Now using the stripped warp hyphae we're going to come around with an L shape like this, and then just replace these so the textures are all going the same direction. In front of this we've got a block of copper and a cut copper, and then the same on the other side, block of copper, cut copper, and finish this off with a stair on either side. And then we're just going to power these 2 redstone lamps right next to them. Moving to the back of the build, on the backmost of these cobbled deep slates, we're going to place a cobbled deep slate stair. Then we're going to place a blast furnace here and another one on top of this one, facing each other. Then using some andesite walls, we'll connect those up. We'll also place an andesite wall here and an andesite wall here, with a piston facing up in the middle and another blast furnace facing this way. Then we've got 2 of the cobbled deep slate, so shift clicking so you can place here. And then 2 of the waxed weathered copper on either side. On this side we've got 1 exposed copper here, and then on that side we've got 1 here, and then we're going to start stepping out following this edge here until they connect up. Next, the roof, but before we do, on this front block of cobbled deep slate we're going to place a cobbled deep slate stair before coming up here and placing a slab and running a line of the cobbled deep slate all the way back until we touch the corner of this block. Then we're switching to the blast furnaces and going 1, 2, 3 that side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that side, and then 2 on either end, making sure that we don't open the UI by using shift click, and then filling in with some stone in the middle. Now we're going to use some acacia stairs on this side, and on this side on top of the redstone lamps, and place a plank on those 2 gaps, 1 here and 1 in the middle, which does leave a gap which we're going to fill with another redstone lamp, just like so, and then come into the build and power that with a lever. And then just on the outside here we're going to have 1, 2 and then 3, 4 with a 5th of the blast furnaces and a stone just in the middle, like so. Now to finish off the roof, we're going to come across 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3 of the oxidized copper blocks. On this side we're going to place another one, but on this side we're going to place a trapdoor like so. Next we're going to use some of the weathered copper like this and bring this in and go right the way across, and 1 more block of it here, and then an exposed block on there and there just to fill in that gap. Coming to the front, we're going to use 2 blocks of the stripped warped hyphae before moving to the warped warp block, placing 5 on this side and 1 on this side, and now using some slabs to fill in the gap, 1, 2, 3 of the copper slabs, and then 1 top slab here with a regular cut copper in the middle. So on the other side, 1, 2 and 3 bottom slabs and a top slab of the cut copper with a cut copper just to finish it off. The next stage of the roof is a cobbled deep slate slab level with the start of these warped warp blocks, then 2 cobbled deep slate and then 5 wax cut copper. And then we're going to finish that with a cut copper stair going this way and a cobbled deep slate stair going this way. We are going to then take some acacia trapdoors and run them across like this on the roof. And finally we are going to place 1 warped trapdoor like so. Now we're going to build the fin on top, and we're going to start level with these acacia trapdoors. And we're going to start with a deep slate tile wall, then 3 of the deep slate brick walls like so, with a cobbled deep slate wall on top, 2 more cobbled deep slate walls next to that, and a cobblestone on top, and then 4 high of the cobblestone with 1 more on the bottom, before adding 3 of the diorite with 1 sticking out on the side. Then we're going to add some of the copper with the cut copper blocks, 2 there, and then stepping across 1 here, 1, 2 here, 1 here, and skipping a gap, and then moving to the stairs. We're going to place a stair on the top backwards here and a stair on the front like this. And lastly we're going to place a couple of the slabs for the copper, 1 slab here, 1 slab here, and finish off with a shroom light in the middle with some acacia trapdoors going all the way around that like so. Next we're going to build the funnels, and these are exactly the same but in slightly different places. So first, the funnel on this lower section next to this stair, we are going to place 1, 2, 3 of the polished basalt, 1, 2, 3 polished basalt here, and then 1, 2, 3 polished basalt here, and then towards the front we're going to place 4, so up like so. Next against that we're going to place ourselves a shroom light and a polished basalt coming out like this. Now coming across from this bottom section, we're going to go 1, 2 like so, and then on the top here we're going to place ourselves 2 campfires like this. Next to that we are going to place ourselves polished basalt coming out level with this, and then on top as well we're going to place a temporary block and then place some polished basalt coming through like this before getting rid of that temporary block. Now underneath we're going to place some walls, and these are the polished deep slate walls. There's going to be 2 coming up at the front and 3, 4 coming up at the back like this. So 2 coming up at the front and then 4 coming up at the back level here, and then we're going to use some polished deep slate stairs, 3 on this side, 3 on this side, all upside down like this, and then across the top we're going to run an entire line here, 1 round at the back and 1 across like this. Finally, for this particular section we are going to put in a trapdoor like so, and that gives you one of the finished funnels. The positioning for the second funnel is on this top section, and we're going to start level with where this piston is. So we're going to come up here with our 3 blocks and then leave a gap, 3 blocks here, 3 blocks at the front like so, and 4 at the back. Then again exactly the same as we did previously with the shroom light and the polished basalt on the sides, bringing this out by 2, then these out by 3 and 3 like so, with our campfires in the funnel. Now you can move these campfires around a bit if you want the smoke to come from a slightly different place in here. And then with a temporary block we're going to just cover this up again, put our trapdoor on the end. Again, you can do it in any order you see fit, and then bring in our walls. So on the sides there's only going to be 2 like this, but at the back there's 4, just like so. Finally with the stairs, again coming all the way along the top with the top stairs here and a stair at the back, and then 3 stairs around either side like this. If you can get through, it's a little bit tight in there. There we go, and we've got the second finished funnel. The next thing we're going to look at is the periscope, and the periscope is going to start over here on this 1 stone block, and we're going to have ourselves a glowstone here, and then we're going to use some of the stripped oak logs. I'm going 1, 2, 3 and 4 before putting another glowstone on top, and then on top of that we're going to have a stair with a block coming out like this. Now covering up these glowstone blocks, we are going to be using some of the oak trapdoors and then doing the same down here. And we're going to finish the look by placing a glowing item frame on the front and a white stained glass pane there to be the lens. Now we're going to start on some of the decoration for the build, and we're going to start by placing a slab of the copper here and here before getting some nether brick walls, and these are going to be like some pipes. So we're going to bring that line right the way up here and level just next to this trapdoor. We're going to bring that across and connect it into the fin. Then we're going to bring it down and over like this, across 1 block, out and down again, and then across 1 more block just to link in. On the other side we're going to have another line of these coming out of the fin, and that is just going to go straight across and into the other chimney like so. Next we are going to place some levers, and we're going to place a lever this way and this way, and then using some lightning rods and shift clicking we're going to connect those up, and we're going to do another set of levers, 1 here which we'll need to switch on, and 1 shift clicking here that will then connect up again with some more lightning rods on this side. Next, on the back right hand side, just beneath this, the lower of the 2 chimneys, we're going to take out the middle of these walls and add in 4 polished basalt coming out like this. Then on this acacia block we're going to have 2 coming out, and then here we're going to take out this block and then have 3 coming out like this. So this should be 1 block less than these 2 stick out. Now using some grindstones we're going to place them here like so, and then we're also going to place them making sure we get the right orientation, so when you look at them you can see the side of them on this side like so as well. Now we're going to take our oak trapdoors and bring them round, and then make sure that we're connecting up on all of these sides. And what this will do is make it look like we've got that conveyor belt going all the way round. We're then going to carry on the conveyor belt up this side as well to the top, and making sure we shift click on the grindstone so that we don't open those UIs. and then up this side as well, just shift clicking to get them all in line and finishing on top. Then we've got one birch button on each of the end pieces, just like that. Now we're going to add in some more of the cabling. So we're going to start here on the left hand side from the back and bring around just a short little pipe coming here. Then we're going to connect up by coming out 2 from this one and 2 from this one, the 2 chimneys here, and bring this down to the block here before bringing it out over the trapdoor and down, just like so. We're then going to bring that out 1 more block and connect up and bring it down here and over, with 1 going into this light and 1 going across like so. On the other side, we're going to start here by shift clicking into the back of this furnace and coming down level with the edge of this block and bringing it down a bit further, and then bringing it down 1 step further before looping it back on itself and finishing off with 1 final one between this conveyor belt and this porthole. Next, on the same side that we have got our conveyor belts, we're going to connect up the fin. So we're going to do that just by coming out 2 blocks on the bottom from the andesite and bringing that all the way back up to this copper. Then going around to the other side, we're going to connect up in a slightly different way. We're going to come down from the top 2 blocks, then we're going to go across, down, and across like this. And we are going to then, using some of the stripped oak up here, create some temporary blocks. So we're going to come out 2 blocks here. We're going to come out 2 blocks here, get rid of that block and that one. Then we're going to come out 2 more blocks and get rid of that one in the middle. So you've got 2 gap here and 1 gap, just like this. We're going to connect this up, coming around and across and up, just like so. And then using some of the lightning rods, we're going to place 1 lightning rod here, so the bulbous end is touching the ship. We're going to place 1 lightning rod here, so the bulbous end is touching the ship, and then get some sandstone walls and connect up in between these blocks with 1 more coming down like so into a redstone block. Now we're going to take our oak trapdoors and surround all of the visible sides of this with some oak trapdoors, and then do the same on this last block like this. Final stage for now is we're going to create another conveyor belt on this side. So this one is going to run from next to this granite block to this one here, just diagonally by this stair. So there'll be a 3 block difference and gap. We're then going to place our grindstones in. We're going to place our oak trapdoors in all the way around this, just like this. Final trapdoor in, and then finish it off with some birch buttons. Now we're going to build ourselves a test tube, and we're going to start by placing some trapdoors around the sides and at the back of this redstone block, and then we'll place a redstone lamp here. Just behind that redstone lamp, we're going to come back down with 4 glass blocks. This could be any color, but I'm going to be using white stained glass. We are also then going to place either side level with, and on one side covering this lamp, some polished black stone. Then we're going to use that to put some more of the glass blocks going all the way up like so on both the sides, right the way up to the top. Then in between, we are going to place ourselves 2 amethyst blocks coming up towards this lamp, and then on the front we're again going to place the 4 white stained glass with 1 more white stained glass at the bottom. We're going to mirror what we've got with the polished black stone blocks here and connect these up on the sides using some of the polished black stone walls. Just as a clamp, I'll be holding this in place. The final touch for this is to add some white stained glass panes to curve this round and make it look a lot more tubey. So you go up to that above it and then beneath it as well, with a final pane connecting each of these glass blocks themselves on the corners, and that will be your finished result. Next, on the same side as this test tube, we'll start putting some cogs. So we'll come to this top granite block and place ourselves a stripped warp stem, and on each of the sides we will place a deep slate wall like so. Then taking some of the same polished deep slate stairs, we will come round and place these in the gaps to create this cog effect, and we'll finish that off with the birch button. Now we're going to go on to the bigger cog, and we're level with this warp stem. We'll take out this acacia block and place a redstone block, And then we're going to place some temporary blocks, one here and one here. I'll just use some redstone, and that's going to give us the basis because we're going to place some stairs, and these are the stone brick stairs for this. And again, with these cogs, you can upgrade or change any of the blocks that you want. Now we can take out those 2 temporary blocks, place ourselves a redstone lamp in the middle with a warped button on the front, and then taking some grindstones, we're going to place these all the way around the redstone lamp like so, making sure that they all go in the right direction. It can be a bit fiddly to get everything in the right places for this. Now we've got a pattern that we're going to follow all the way around, so we're going to have a stair this way with a stair on top of that, so they're basically back to back, and then one more stair next to it, so you've got that single quarter block gap. And then we'll do the same here, a stair and a stair. This will connect up, but that's fine. And then another one, so one stair, another stair, and then one go in the same direction. And lastly on this, again, slightly tricky to get into the right place, but there we go, persevere and you can do it. And then a stair, we'll take this acacia trapdoor out and the final stair in like this, and that gives you the bigger cog. Now we're going to build some cogs on the other side of this. So the first thing that we're going to do is place a redstone lamp here. That's going to be the starting point. We will need to take out these 2 blocks and this block, and we're going to start in a similar way, but this time using the dark oak stairs. So we're going to come out here and build these out and around and get the last one in like so. Then we get the grindstones in, going around again, so exactly the same cog that we have on the other side, but this time with the dark oak. And we then just do the same pattern all the way round of the back-to-back stairs with the extra stair. And we finish that off with a warped button here, and then we put ourselves a trapdoor, an acacia trapdoor, the one that we took off 1 block lower. Now we're going to place ourselves the final 2 cogs on this side. So first of all, we'll take a stripped dark oak log, we'll place a stair going this way, and then we're going to have stairs going the same direction. So when we have it like this, it will look like it's looping round. This one will be upside down, and this one will be facing this way. Then what you do is you just have a stair going into this one and into this one as well, wrong side like that, and the final stair upside down like this, and that gives us the really nice little cog. We'll finish that off with a warped button. Another cog on this side is going to start with a stripped warped stem, and on the sides of that we're going to use some polished black stone walls, and then like we did on the other one with the polished deep slate, we're just going to fill these in to give us the other cog effect like this, and finish off with a birch button. Finally, on the decoration, we are going to place ourselves a lever on the top here, and then coming down here and shift clicking into that lever, we can start placing some lightning rods, come down here and place them all the way down, and there we have the finished build. So thank you very much for watching. In the next episode, as I said at the beginning, I will be doing the full interior of this build. So make sure you tune in for that, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you all next time on EPIC Minecraft.